Hello everyone and welcome to this conference. Today we're going to be studying conference number 21 called Concentration and Relaxation. So we're going to be learning about concentration and relaxation. Concentration, which is the greatest power that any human being can aspire to have and which allows us to do perfectly what we undertake. And relaxation, which is the natural state of our consciousness. Also, we're going to be learning about a practice called Watch and Pray, which is going to allow us to achieve a perfect concentration and relaxation. So, let's start by understanding what concentration is. The word concentration is showing us that consciousness is centered in action. Concentration, as I said before, is a very great power that allows us to be successful in everything we undertake. Concentration occurs when we learn to live in the moment, the eternal now, in the present moment, in constant self-remembering. When our different functions work in unison, having our heart as the center. That is to say, when we are about, for example, to do something and all our functions are focused on that task that we have set out to do. Our mind, our feelings, our actions, we find ourselves concentrated when only one thought is held. Then, if we maintain our full attention on something, we can reach inspiration and an instant later the hit. If this doesn't happen, we would not be successful since each one of the centers would be on its own. For example, the emotion on one hand, the thoughts on the other hand. Therefore, that power would be dispersed and what we are about to do would not come out perfect. And an accident could even happen due to lack of attention in what we are doing. The key to get any practice is concentration. We must practice and fight until we achieve it. But we must take into account that if we are focused during the day, at night we will continue to be focused. If during the day we wander, at night too. The most common thing is that we spend the day wandering, sleeping, stuck in our heads and letting ourselves be carried away by our dreams, futurizations, projections, memories, fantasies, by our emotions and or our desires. There is no permanence in the present moment. This even affects us a lot when it comes to the practice of astral projection, in which we need that state of attention during the night that keeps us conscious in the astral world. There are two types of concentration. One in the inner world and the other in the outer world. Both are very important. In the inner world, we have to observe what happens inside us. Observe our thoughts, desires, sensations, emotions, etc., etc. In the outside world, we must use the 5 external senses to interact with it, do things right, and avoid accidents. Concentration is the opposite of distraction. Concentration comes from the consciousness, distraction comes from the ego. The eyes do not manifest in the present moment. They manifest in the past or in the future. If we study distraction, we will end up in concentration. If we can discover all the distracting eyes or elements, we will reach concentration for sure. So, let's do this. Let's try to fully concentrate on anything, and however minimal it may be, we will discover how the eyes, through the thoughts, desires, and emotions, begin to manifest to get us out of that state of attention. Learning to center consciousness on action requires a lot of practice, since the sense of psychological self-observations is atrophied in almost all human beings, and it is through this sense that consciousness is centered on the action. If we cannot observe ourselves, we will not be able to concentrate, since self-observation is the way to keep control. through which we discover the elements that want to distract us and then eliminate them and refocus. At first, it is difficult, it's very difficult, since we are very mechanized and it is our custom to live in this state of mental vagueness. But with practice, we will develop this sense more and more, and we will be more able to stay focused for longer periods of time. So, how can we practice concentration? First, making an effort to do one thing at a time. We tend to think that multitasking and doing several things at the same time is a virtue or something beneficial, when the reality is that it is not. This just disperses our energies in different activities. We must try to do things one by one to give them the time, the energy, and the attention they require. Also, without thinking about anything else. All our thoughts must correspond to what we are doing. Third, without interrupting one thing to do another. We must finish what we started and not leave it halfway or let it go to do something else. Also, not remembering things that are going to be done later. When the time comes to do those things, we will do them. But what really matters is what we are doing at the moment. Also, not remembering things that have already been done. Not letting us go back to the past, to things that were but no longer are. And keeping us focused on what we are doing. Something that is highly recommended is that at the end of the day, we take a few minutes to make a schedule of activities for the next day. In this way, we will already have the task that we are going to carry out organized in advance, and each task will have its schedule and time. If we carefully observe the multiple activities of our daily life, we will realize that each one of them is done mechanically, since when we execute them, we are thinking about other things. That same fact prevents us from being centered. It also prevents us from seeing all the manifesting eyes. Okay, wait a second. Okay, excuse me, I had something making a lot of noise. So let's continue. For example, we wake up, we get up, we walk to the bathroom, we undress, shave, shower, dry ourselves, dress, put on shoes, make the bed, have breakfast, brush our teeth, say goodbye, go out, etc., etc. But we don't self-observe from moment to moment, which means that our consciousness is asleep due to lack of use. We do things while being asleep, and by the above, there is no self-discovery. If we begin to self-observe ourselves, we will discover each one of the defects that participate in each action. Acting mechanically, making mistakes, stressing us out, causing worries, distracting us, and impeding concentration. For example, let's say we are about to prepare dinner. We must concentrate on preparing dinner. However, when preparing it, I begin to remember that I forgot to do something at work, and I begin to worry about what the boss will say to me tomorrow, and then I also begin to feel anxious. At that moment, I cut myself with the knife, with which I am cutting the vegetables because I am not concentrating on preparing dinner. If I am in self-observation state, I can see how those defects want to manifest themselves and take me out of the moment. And while they are presenting themselves, I ask my Divine Mother to eliminate each one of them. There will be no worries, no anxiety, just peace and relaxation, which is what it is experienced when we are in the present moment. The present is the only thing that really exists, and that is where consciousness manifests itself. It is not convenient for our defects that we are in the present moment, because only from there we can see them and eliminate them. When we begin to observe all this, we realize directly the chaos in which we find ourselves, and that we can only order it through permanent relaxation. So now we will talk about relaxation. Tension is the opposite of relaxation. Relaxation is the natural state of consciousness, a state of balance, while tension is generated by the egos and is a disturbance to that balance and peace that we must have. Every time a defect manifests itself, it generates tension. When we become aware of any defect that is producing tension in any part of the machine through self-observation, we must necessarily understand why and how this defect is draining energy from me, and then ask our Divine Mother to eliminate this I or defect from me. So, what produces the tension? Well, the wishes, the sensations we experience in our whole body, the negative emotions, anger, sadness, exaltation, excitement, fear, states of being in love, etc., etc., psychological songs, wrong psychological states such as hatred, resentment, pessimism, fatalism, suffering, thoughts, and we have thousands and thousands of thoughts every day, worries, anxiety states, internal chatter, the fight between the different I's that lead us to states of confusion, doubts, and anguish. If we beg our particular Divine Mother at those moments to eliminate the defect that is producing tension in this or that center, we will notice that she acts immediately, relaxing the place in which we have observed the I. It is necessary to understand why we are tense for the Mother to act. So remember that the Mother only eliminates what has been understood. Okay. So another thing is that the tensions occur for many reasons. Okay, maybe we are doing something that we don't like, and here come the feelings of displeasure, of frustration, the desperation to finish it quickly to get out of it. Maybe we are afraid that something will go wrong, and that makes us nervous, for example. Maybe we want to do something else, something that we like better. Maybe what we are going to do later worries us. So we start thinking about it. Or what we did before did not turn out well, and the eyes begin to approach to us and make us analyze why it didn't turn out well, or the repercussions that this will bring. Maybe what we did before turned out really well, and we feel elated and excited, and we don't want to stop thinking about it because it's giving us a lot of pleasure. Maybe we don't know how to do what we are doing, or maybe we are worried about something we'll have to do. Also, it could be we are distracted by something. Perhaps we are trying to listen to the television, or listen to something someone is saying to us, or taking a phone call, or fantasizing about doing something more pleasant, etc., etc. So, how do we know that we are already relaxed? This happens when all tensions have disappeared and our psychology has normalized. We feel good, we can focus on what we are doing, while we cannot focus in what we are doing, we are not in a state of relaxation yet. Where there is tension, attention goes to that point and therefore energy. Also remember that. It is important to relax in an integral way, in a general way. And for this, we must relax the astral body, which is the emotion, the mental body, which is the mind, and the physical body. In the relaxation of the physical body, we concentrate in each one of the parts of our body. Remember, where our thoughts are, our consciousness will be. Therefore, we must imagine and feel each one of our body parts in an orderly manner, and this procedure is repeated three times. For example, we start with the right leg. We start feeling toe by toe, then the plant, the instep, the heel, the ankle, the calf, the knee, the thigh, the whole leg. Then we go to the left leg and do the same. Then we go to the right arm and start feeling the finger, all the fingers of the hand, the palm, the back, the wrist, the forearm, the elbow, the whole arm. Then we go to the left arm and do the same. Then we go to the buttocks, feel the genitals, the hips, the abdomen, the waist, the chest, the shoulders, the back, the entire trunk. Then we go and feel the neck, the throat, jaw, tongue, lips, cheeks, nose, eyes, eyebrows, forehead, ears, scalp, the whole head. Then we order all the muscles, nerves, and tendons to relax and calm down. We are going to repeat this procedure 3 times. To relax the astral body or emotional part, we concentrate on breathing, observing the entry and exit of the air for 3 minutes or as long as necessary. To relax the mental body or intellectual part, we concentrate on the heart and on listening to noises from the outside world for 3 minutes without identifying with them. Now, we will explain the practice of concentration and relaxation called watch and pray. Master Jesus taught us that we should watch and pray. Watching is doing things, being awake, in self-observation or concentrated, while praying is the desire to be or to remember oneself. And this is the same as relaxing. It is begging the Divine Mother to eliminate the defect that prevents us from concentrating. This practice will help us develop self-observation and concentration. It will also help us increase our levels of psychological depth. We can do this practice every day for at least 20 minutes, and we can even take advantage of those moments in which we are not doing anything, such as when we go to the doctor and we have to wait in the waiting room, or maybe we are traveling to another state. We can take advantage of that time. The steps for the practice are as follows. First, we need to do the conjuration of the belly link and the magic circle, which we learned in conference number 7. Second, the plea for assistance to our inner father and our divine mother, so they direct us during the practice. Third, relaxation. We need to observe that the whole body is comfortable. Fourth, we concentrate on the heart to listen and observe the inner world. Remember that our inner world is composed by our thoughts, our feelings, our sensations, and our desires. So we are going to be observing all that. And all that comes to interrupt us, to distract us, we're going to be asking our Divine Mother to eliminate them. Okay? And then we are going to refocus, to concentrate again on our heart. For example, while I am concentrating, in my heart comes a thought about something that I have to do later. Okay, I'm going to be asking my Divine Mother to eliminate it. But I may start feeling anxious, I'm going to ask my Divine Mother to eliminate that anxiety, and I'm going to continue concentrating in my heart, okay? This practice can be done until the perfect concentration is achieved, and we can even do it before doing any other practice that requires perfect concentration, such as transcendental meditation, for example. And well, this has been today's conference. Thank you very much for joining us. And we invite you to the next conference called Meditation, where we will learn what meditation is, the types of meditation that exist, and how it helps us to deepen and achieve these radical changes in our psychology and therefore in our lives. So thank you very much. Bye-bye. Until next time.